How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek, back for another live show. And tonight we've got episode 2 of our new show where we'll look at a year in geek. And as ever, I am joined by my good pals Ephron and James. How are you chaps doing? You well?
Fine.
Good stuff. Good. I was just saying to Ephron, James, before you jumped on there, it's friggin' freezing here.
It's pretty cold today.
Yeah, he's coming over to the UK.
And we're there like, it's not going to be that bad, but it's like, it's pretty cold today.
Yeah, it's nippy. It's nippy. There's a certainly a
just
chill
a scarf, and a jacket, and a pair of jeans, Ephron, and you'd be fine.
And whiskey.
And whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey,
Lots of whiskey.
Like just some Jameson.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you chaps? Are you both good? Ephron, you must
good.
be getting excited now. Are you getting excited?
Yeah. I'm tomorrow, Thursday, man. I'm gonna be packing all my clothes. It doesn't leave until the evening, my time, so I have time in the morning, to relax. But my heart's gonna be, getting all excited and stuff, So yeah, I'm looking forward to this trip. Once in a lifetime trip for sure.
I cannot wait. Don't say that. You can come again. It's not it doesn't have to be the only time,
No, that's true. Part one of a once in a lifetime
trip. Yeah. I'm stoked. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like I've just been like thinking about it now. It's gonna be good.
It's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Right, chaps, before we crack on, let's just see who we've got in the chat. We've got Fuzzy of the Dunlop. 1959, a favourite year when it comes to fuzzy fun facts. Wonder if I'll have many to share. I hope so, Fuzzy. I do hope so, bud. We've got Terry. Nice to see. Terry has just put a cracking little video out there about Wonder Woman comics. Please do go check that out. It's a good one. Good evening, 1959. I remember it well. Yeah, good stuff, Terry. We've got Bat Dan. Cannot wait to see you this weekend. Bat Dan, looking forward to catching up, bud. And we've got Andy. Nice to see you, Andy. Doing very well, my friend. Hope you're well. And we've got Luke. Nice to see you, Luke. I hope you are top of the pops as well. I hope you're good, mate. Yay for the ladies in the palm. You were allowed to vote for the first time when you guessed it. 1915. Fuzzy, you're on the ball, mate.
I'm liking the cadence here that Fuzzy's putting out.
Fuzzy's on the ball. He does it. And you know what? It's lovely because I focus on doing all the research and shit for the movies and the comic. And I know I haven't got to worry about kind of general knowledge because Fuzzy's got we're covered.
Fuzzy's
fun facts. I love it. Fuzzy's fun facts. Yeah. Very cool, Fuzzy. We love you.
I have some facts this year. I have some facts for it too. I looked some stuff up. See if you have
them.
I
didn't.
Stuff. I'm just aware of 3 things that I like from this time period. So
Mr. Keegan, some as usual, minimum effort, James.
Yeah,
minimal effort.
Minimum effort, but I always deliver, I think. I deliver the goods every time.
Yeah. Guys, listen, before we crack on with 1959, and no spoilers, because I'm very aware people will not have seen it yet. Penguin. Oh, did you see the last episode last night?
Not yet.
Oh, you've not seen it yet, Ephron?
No, I know some major. I heard some guys have been commenting on Instagram. No spoilers that they've said, but yeah, I'm all caught up. I just haven't seen the last episode yet.
Tremendous. It's an absolutely phenomenal series. I have to say, because you know I wasn't a big fan of the movie. I loved this. I absolutely loved this. It's a brilliant. I think what we'll do, James, once you've watched the series, we'll do a little review series.
Yep. I'm going to binge it in like a handful of maybe 2 days or whatever.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. Deadman's just saying Penguin was superb. Bat Dan, Penguin was superb as well. Yeah, it really is a top-notch TV. But Luke, 3 episodes in for me, really enjoy it. It just gets better and better and better, Luke. It's superb. Luke, what I would say to you, mate, and for anybody that's not watched it yet, avoid spoilers at all costs because there's some good stuff in the last couple of episodes and you don't want to spoil it for yourself. Okay, so we are here tonight to talk 1959. Sweet baby Jesus, that's a long time ago. Nice to see you, Leon. Thank you very much for joining, bud. 1959. As I said at the start, this is our show now where we look at a year in geek, and we selected 1959 because last time we did 1977, which was the year of my birth. This time it's all about Ephron. So Ephron, we are talking about you, and here's yourself and your lovely, lovely daughter.
Look at her hair. It's beautiful.
Incredible. Which one, James? Both?
Of course. Yeah. It's in the genetics,
Yeah. It's just lovely.
That's a nice picture.
It is. It is. And your daughter really is lovely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because she helped us out tonight with getting some other pictures about you.
Oh my gosh. She was asking for that picture. That was 8th grade when I graduated. 8th grade. Oh,
Yeah. Look at your little face. Little cutie. Little cutie. So, yeah. So you were born in 59, Efren. And tonight, I mean, you probably won't remember a lot of what happened in that particular year, but we're going to talk all about, excuse me, all about the events that occurred in 59.
I'm very curious what Trail Rider is. Like, even back then, you were wearing a pop culture reference t-shirt.
yeah.
Like, I love it.
That was like, I don't know how old I was there. Probably less than 5 years old. And the middle picture was like 8th grade. The one on the right, I think, is the very first Comic-Con I ever went to. I know it was in the 90s. And I was born on July 4th.
All right.
Yeah,
Really?
1959. Yeah, about 10 o'clock at night,
Very cool. I'm looking at that X-Men picture, Efren. How old were you there, do you think?
Which picture?
The one with the X-Men around you? Sorry.
Let me see. 59, 60. About 34.
Okay.
You look you look so happy. Like, you're beaming.
That was the very first. I think that was the very first Comic-Con I went to, and it was just like, a dream come true going to the first Comic-Con, San Diego one.
So, Efren, much like yourself, I'm a bit of I consider myself up to speed on comic book characters. I'm trying to work out who that is with his arm around your neck, the blue guy.
That's the guy from the UK book. That character is not well-known character, but he's a UK character that came out like in the 90s. Death something, I think.
Is that meant to be Death's Head?
I think
The
so.
one
Yeah.
you got me the figure for not too long ago.
Yeah, I think that's who it is. I know it's a UK character, but it wasn't exactly. I think it's Death Head. So I'm not 100% sure though. But it was such a long time ago, that picture. But I know it's from the UK character, so to speak.
Very cool. Very cool. Great stuff. Okie dokie. Let's crack on, guys. As we've said before, this is the sorry, Leon. I wouldn't look that happy if I was being triple teamed by Superman.
It was awesome. Just seeing, like I said, the very first Comic-Con I ever went to. I never been to one, big or small, and I went to San Diego, and that was like just a heaven, just seeing the characters,
Geek Nirvana.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so on this show, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look-see at some of the key things that happened in 69. Movies, toys, video games, comic books, and TV shows. So we'll start off with what is now tradition, I think, with looking a little bit at TV and a little bit of a sing-song, guys. I thought, we did that last time, and I thought we'd talk Rawhide. So I'm going to be honest, finding geek-related stuff from 69 was a bit of a challenge.
59.
So we've gone... Sorry, 59, sorry. So we've gone for some of the stuff that kind of was popular or came out that year. And it's a lot of Western-based stuff. Now, James, you probably have you heard of some of these shows?
There'd be very little Western movies I'm fairly familiar with. Like, I've gone through like a Western phase at some point in my life, but TV shows just like Rawhide, never heard of it, don't know it.
Never heard of it. You must have heard the song. You must have heard the
What's it
song.
like?
I'm glad you asked. Efren, do you remember the song?
I remember the song, but all I remember is the Rawhide.
Hey,
yeah,
move him up.
about it.
Head him up.
Yeah.
Head him up. Move him out. Rawhide.
Yeah.
Head him up. Move it. You're not here. Oh, it's amazing.
I might if I hear the actual song, I might recognize it.
Yeah, the actor on the right is Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I thought that. I was looking at that. Yeah. Is that Marlon Brando in the back?
No.
Looks very Brando-y.
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, starring Clint Eastwood, a whole host of other people. This had 8 seasons. It ran from 59 to 65, 217 black and white episodes. And it's a story basically of a cattle drive. So these guys moving across the open spaces, and in typical kind of fashion, they interrupt people along the way and have adventures and things like that each episode. I remember watching this when I was a young'un because it was on repeats on Sunday morning TV all the time. But westerns were incredibly popular back then. So I had Rawhide, obviously, and then we had this one. James, you know this one?
No.
Bonanza.
I recognize that. I recognize that theme.
Yeah, tremendous. So again, this was Bonanza. Again, another tremendous Western, and it starred the amazing Michael Landon, who I don't know if you're aware of Michael Landon, James, but he was a big time actor. He was also in Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, another Western-based show, 14 seasons, ran from 59 to 73, 432 episodes.
Wow.
It was the second longest running Western-based show ever. And it was a family drama based on basically this family's interactions again with social issues and things like that. I remember watching this one, but not a great detail about it. Efren, you got any memories of these two?
Oh, I used to love this show when it was on. Yeah, I used to watch it like on a semi-regular basis. You said Michael Landon, but Lauren Green was on there too, and he was in Battlestar Galactica, the very first.
That's right.
That's right. Battlestar Galactica, yeah. So it was a great series. Westerns like ruled. Bonanza was on forever. I don't think I ever watched Rawhide at all, but I know the song. But Bonanza, I used to be a regular watch on my TV.
It is funny how that was just the thing at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like superheroes have dominated, I think, pop culture now, like for the last 15, 20 years. This was like the thing back then. It was Westerns, cowboys.
It's cyclical, isn't it? Because Westerns were incredibly popular. And then it just kind of vanished. And you get the odd movie, and I think I've not watched any of it, but I understand there's a great series on at the moment that has Kevin Costner in it.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I will say, like like nothing hits as hard as a good Western thing, like a cool Western thing, and like one of the most excited I've ever been for a game, like in the top 3, definitely was like Red Dead Redemption, because it's like a very Leone kind of spaghetti Western game where it's an open world. It's the guys that do GTA, so Grand Theft Auto. So it's like Grand Theft Auto but with cowboys, and incredible. And the second one's incredible. Like it's just to live that kind of fantasy out was really cool.
But if you think, James, I know Westerns died a little bit in terms of this style of Western, but Star Wars at its heart is pretty much just a Western.
100%. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's like a mix of like a lot of Westerns were ripped off from samurai.
Yeah.
And Star Wars is sort of melds like Akira Kurosawa and the Leone kind of stuff, So it's definitely, I think it's in there. And like that's the coolest thing. Like one of my favorite parts of Star Wars is like the bounty hunters and like the Western element of that when they have duels and shit, like Cat Bane.
Han Solo's your typical kind of Western hero, really. The kind of
smuggler, 100%.
Let's just quickly jump to the chat, guys. See what we've got before we move on to our next TV. Batdan is saying Clint's like 128 now. Actually, I saw a picture of Clint Eastwood. I can't remember what it was on. It was on the internet a little while ago, and he is starting to look his age.
I wanted to see his new movie, and it's gone from the cinema already.
Really?
Is that for a week? My cinema's not showing anymore. I was
raging. I like Clint Eastwood, mind. I do like, and his son's a spitting dab. His son's been in some decent films as well.
I'm stunned he's not played a Dirty Harry or No Name or anything like that. Like they've not done like a reboot with him in it.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Do you know Clint Eastwood? For a short time, he was the mayor of Carmel, California, up there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was he a good mayor?
He was. I forgot why he ran, but he was mayor for a couple of years. Of Carmel.
Yeah.
This was like in the 80s, I believe, or 90s.
It was easy. I think it has always been easy for like celebrities to run for office in like California, because like you have Arnie was governor, Ronald Reagan I'm sure would have been a senator or something there first.
He was governor of California, Ronald Reagan.
Governor before, yeah. So.
Dead Man's just saying this was from Rawhide. I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me. Yeah. And Fuzzy's saying not just 59, Christmas Eve 59 was the first episode. Yeah, that's true, Fuzzy. Very, very cool. Great Rawhide sing-along sketchy and Bluegrass Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
There is. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Dead Man, my mum's favourite, Frankie Lane sang that theme tune. Yeah, you don't get songs like that anymore, do you? He's talking about Bonanza. Fuzzy's commenting that Michael Landon was also in Highway to Heaven. I forgot about that one.
Oh, yeah.
That was a really good series. I enjoyed that one as well. Yeah, amazing actor. And Bonanza was filmed in colour from the very beginning. I remember Bonanza, Lauren from, how do you pronounce that? Is it Lorne?
Lorne.
from Battlestar. I used to love the original Battlestar.
Oh, me too. The
Really
Cylon.
did.
Never
Really
seen
did.
it.
You've never
Never?
seen
I've
Battlestar?
seen anything Battlestar Galactica.
The Cylons are just such a cool design, you know, with the eye. Woo, 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 woo. It's just phenomenal. Really, really cool. Dan Blocker, who played Horse, died at a pretty young age also, I believe. I didn't know that, dead man.
Yeah, he
Didn't
did.
know that. Yeah. Fuzzy fun fact, let's go. One of Geekdom's favourite words was published for the very first time in 59. Laser. Who doesn't love a laser? James, big laser fan, I bet. Yeah.
I am. I love lasers. You know me well, Fuzz.
59. I'm trying to think, because lasers became very popular for cutting up James Bond, didn't they? That was kind of the thing that we saw them all over the place in kind of movies like that. We've got Von Hoot in the house. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Clint is an interesting director. I can't say I love all of his films, but he certainly has take. Yeah, he's done some good stuff. They're going to have to start watering Clint soon. He looks like he must dust out.
It's funny because like in 1992 he made Unforgiven, which is like the cowboy past his prime, like old man cowboy, and that was like 32 years ago. You know, so he's like ancient at this point. Yeah.
Has anybody, just speaking of these Hollywood icons, have we seen any images of Jack Nicholson for a while? I'm presuming.
I remember there was one a couple of years, like a year or so ago, and it was like, oh, he's aged, like he doesn't look recognizable.
He goes to Laker games, I believe.
Yeah.
Laker games. So I think I've seen pictures of him recently at Laker games. He's like, obviously, I don't think he's even making movies anymore.
No, he hasn't made a movie for a long time, I don't think. Yeah. Fuzzy, he's guaranteed a Trump guy.
This is Clint Eastwood. Yeah, he's a staunch Republican. Yeah,
I mean, from what I understand, Fuzzy, a large percentage of the American population are.
Make America great again.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back into the realms of geekiness for another TV thing. Major TV series that hit the air in 59. Kind of a sci-fi related one. Anybody got any clues what it might be?
Boston Space?
No, it's a good one, but off everyone. We're talking Twilight Zone.
Ooh,
yeah, Twilight Zone. Now, Twilight Zone, one of my personal favorites, I have to say. Looking back, trying to remember some of these earlier episodes, was a bit of a challenge. But created by Rod Serling, anthology series. I think this is where I got my love for anthologies, because I really do enjoy a kind of a single episode story, once and done kind of thing. Ran for 5 seasons initially, from 59 to 64, and then it got 3 more series over the years by different creative teams, and we're going to touch on the most recent one of those in a little bit. You guys fans of the Twilight Zone? Now, I don't expect you to remember the 59 episodes. I mean Twilight Zone in general.
I have not watched much Twilight Zone, to be honest with you, but I'm a fan of it, even though I haven't watched it, because it just has such a hold in, the movies. I mean, the TV show, when it came out, everybody remembers the theme song to it, and I mean, I know about it, but to be honest with you, I haven't watched much of it. I do remember the one with Burgess Meredith when he was like the last man on earth, and then he was like a bookworm, and then at the end his glasses broke and he couldn't read anything. So and I remember, there were some good episodes, So the one with William Shatner on the plane, that's a classic one. I remember that one for sure.
James, how about you? Are you a fan of Twilight Zone?
Like Efren said, I have a limited exposure to it, but I love it aesthetically. Like I love what it did as well. I like that kind of it's it's classic now, but like the host with the anthology stories and like how many shows. Like my the equivalent for me growing up was like Goosebumps. That's the kids version of it. So that's where my love of anthologies came from, and that stems from this, or like Freddy's Nightmares. Like that was one I loved as a kid as well. So I should watch more of this. Like I should have peek back, and I know that there's episodes online. I think I watched one in college, but I'm struggling to remember what it was about or anything. But like it's cool, and they always have these like hair-raising twists at the end. So,
it's one of these shows that's really interesting because it's obviously restrained by the budget, but the episodes can range from sci-fi stuff to horror to just general stories about humanity. You know, it is really interesting. And I went back to have a look at the first 10 episodes or so in the first season, and I have to be honest, I can't remember having seen any of those original ones, but some of them kind of rang a bell. But then I was just looking at the scores they're getting, and they're getting like tremendous scores. So they are quality TV. The one I remember most because of my love for the Shat is William Shatner. This came later on in the season, so this wasn't in 59. James, you must have seen this one. This is a classic. Yeah. The Creature on the Wing. And then they redid this later on with John Lithgow, I think, in the movie. Just superb performance. In such a simple idea, you know, of something on the wing of the aircraft. I remember this one totally freaking me out first time I saw it. And it petrified us next time I got in an airplane, obviously. We then got the movie. Have any of you seen the movie?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, now this does lean into horror. You get the retelling of that tale we've just talked about. This was directed by Steven Spielberg. Produced by Steven Spielberg. And this particular tale was my favorite. Any do you remember this particular story?
Is that the one with the little boy who had the powers?
Yeah, it's superb. So it starts off with this teacher meeting this little boy in a kind of a street.
Yeah.
And she goes home with him, and you very quickly realize that all of his family are terrified of him. And he's basically omnipotent. He's got ultimate power. So
I love this one. Yeah.
So if people don't like him, if he thinks everybody doesn't like him, and they're not, they're just afraid of him. So by the end, he's kind of making his uncle doing a magic trick, and his uncle pulls out this really horrendous rabbit and stuff. He makes his sister's mouth vanish, I think.
Yeah.
It's really quite dark.
Yeah.
So great movie.
Do you remember the original TV show, who that actor was? The little boy?
No, who was that?
Pretty sure it was Ron Howard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm 100% sure. Fuzzy, you may know, but I'm pretty sure it was Ron Howard.
Ron Howard was a kid actor. He did. There was something recently came up that I was like, oh, that was Ron Howard when he was a kid. I'm like, oh shit.
I'll look it up, see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think the other equivalent. I know that they did the reboot. I didn't watch it, but it was Jordan Peele, wasn't it?
So Jordan Peele did the most recent series of Twilight Zone. Any of you seen any of the episodes?
Yes.
None of it.
I like
some of them are really, really good. Really good. I remember getting really engrossed in an episode about a family traveling, I think, to university, and this police officer keeps following them everywhere. They're really quite freaky. But yeah, an excellent little series. Sadly, that one was cancelled after 2 seasons, which was a shame. But great one.
Then, like, Black Mirror, I think is the modern equivalent of that. I wish if Black Mirror had like a spooky host at the start. I think I'd be more inclined to watch all of it.
And I think we're going to hopefully get some more of this in the future, because we know that if for comic book fans out there, Ice Cream Man's been picked up. So that'll be a very similar kind of vein to this, I think. Yeah. Just wanted to end talking about Twilight Zone with this. Anybody been to this? This is the Hollywood Tower, the Twilight Zone ride at Florida.
They have it at Disney, California Adventure too.
California as well.
Yeah. It looks just like the Tower of Terror.
It is.
It's similar.
Yeah,
is it?
It's similar.
It is the Tower of Terror.
Yeah, so this is.
I love Tower of Terror, the ride, but also there's a Disney TV movie of the Tower of Terror, which I love.
Oh right, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's so good.
This is basically, you go in and it's set very much as a Twilight Zone, and you get Rod Sterling talking to you at the start.
Yeah,
and then you go in the little cart in the lift up, and then the lift, it's Tower of Terror. The lift kind of drops.
That's exactly what it was.
Brilliant ride.
I think the ride is based on the Twilight Zone, and then the movie is based on the ride. So it's sort of once removed from Twilight Zone. But I really remember being surprised that I was like, oh, this is a Twilight Zone thing. Pete, I really want to do that on One Good Scare, because it's a great one. I think it's on YouTube. It's Kirsten Dunst is in it. It's a good one.
Let's add it to the list, because I'm not sure I've seen that one. Okay, guys, anything you want to mention about Twilight Zone before we move on?
I don't think it was Ron Howard. I think it was Billy Mumy. That was
Bill Mumy. He was in Lost in Space as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he appeared in Babylon 5. He was in Babylon 5 for a while. Yeah. Okay, let's just jump to the chat before we'll move on. Dead Man's talking Twilight Zone. He's saying the actor in the first episode is still around. Wow. Von Hood, I wish the Twilight Zone was on a streaming platform. It would be perfect when I've got an hour to spare. I don't think I've seen it on Disney. Outer Limits, which is another very good anthology series. I don't remember if I've seen that one for a while either. Twilight Zone is a great ride at Disney. Yep, you're right, Luke. Just talked about that, mate. It's spot on. Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Never watched an episode unless I've watched it and unknowingly haven't realised. That's possible, Fuzzy.
I think if you like went through the blurb for every episode, you would recognise.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I remember seeing a thing about that. Like, or you know, like, I think it's that ingrained.
Probably on in the background or something. Yeah. We've got Grey Man. Nice to see you. Hope you're well, bud. Batman, didn't Vincent Price introduce some episodes, or I'm imagining? I'm not sure. We're going to talk Vincent Price in a little while.
Okay. I was worried. That's one of the things I was hoping to talk about.
When we talk movies, we're going to touch on Vincent Price. But the Twilight Zone, I like the Outer Limits, got some stunning guest stars, so it's possible he was in an episode. Leon is saying Twilight Zone is a bit twee now, but it was groundbreaking stuff in the day. It absolutely was. I've been watching the box set. The half-hour episodes were better than the hour-long ones, I think. Yeah, sharp, short, and snappy, I think, is probably the best. Oh, we've got Mr. X in the house. Nice to see you, bud. I hope you are well. Please make sure you go and check out the Extreme channel. Some incredible stuff over there. I remember William Shatner was the playing guy in the show instead of Lithgow in the movie. That's right, mate. That's right. And as usual, Shatner is stunning in it. Absolutely stunning. Twilight Zone is cool, but not as cool as scary devil kid Linda Blair, born January 1959. Good one, Fuzzy. Good one. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I think it was an adult in the film version. I think we're talking Bill Mummy. We've got Jack in the house. Nice to see you, Jack. Hope you are well. And Deadman is just confirming he's in about 3 episodes of Twilight Zone. Kenneth, nice to see you, Kenneth. Hope you're well, bud. Okie dokie. Let's move on to our next topic, which is toys. Now, not a lot of toy action going on in 59, Efren, I have to say, but there was one very memorable and notable event, which Fuzzy is going to love, because I know Fuzzy loves a bit of doll action. Yep. So, 59, we got the introduction of Barbie, created by Ruth Handler, kind of pinched from another doll she saw overseas, and then sold on to Mattel. How many of these do you think they sold in a year?
Say that again? I didn't hear you.
In the first year of Barbie coming out, they were predicting it to be a bit of a flop because it had a older kind of look to it. How many do you think they sold in the first year?
Well, it debuted March 9th, 1959.
Yeah. But you mean like an entire year, not just the rest of 1959, like over in the first year of sales?
No, just the year 1959. How much did it sell in the year?
Gosh, I'd say over 1 million.
350,000.
Oh wow,
that's all.
Yeah, not a lot. It was still considered a massive success, and now at this point in time, they've sold over $1 billion to date.
I would have thought this would have been like a Furby kind of situation where people were clamoring in the shops at Christmas to get one of these. That's how Jingle All the Way. That's how I kind of imagined the release of Barbie being.
I think back then it was. I don't know.
Girls didn't play with toys. I guess, maybe or something. You know?
So here's a question, because I know the answer. I've never owned a Barbie. James, have you ever owned a Barbie?
Myself, no. My sister had Barbie. My sister had a cool Star Wars Barbie that I wanted, and she sold it instead.
Efren?
I have 2. I have. I'll show them to you later on. I have a Wonder Woman Barbie, and from Star Trek. You know the creature, the girl that was all in green.
Yeah,
I bought them at Comic-Con. I have 2 of them. You know,
like I'm not gonna slag. Because there's versions like if they did a Barbie of some things, I would probably buy if they did a Last of Us Barbie, probably a clicker Barbie, an Ellie as a Barbie. Like I would probably buy that shit. So like I'm not gonna judge, you know.
Yeah, Jack's asking how old I was in 59. How dare you, Jack? how dare you? Fuzzy Ginger Barbie at that. Yeah, it's an interesting design to go for your first one, isn't it? Like a weird kind of leopard print swimsuit.
It looks like Lucille Ball to me.
Yeah, that's what Deadman's saying as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Dead Man comic show Dolly. Fuzzy's favorite Dolly is Dolly Parton. Obviously, always a bit of Dolly. So yeah, that was Barbie. Other toys around the time, wasn't a lot of stuff going on. You had your potato
Mr.
heads.
Potato Man.
Do you know what? My naivety, I never realized that. I just always assumed the potato head was a plastic case. I didn't realize it was actually just stuff you stuck in a potato.
Yeah, it was just the eyes and the body and stuff, and you put them on a potato.
I mean, yeah.
Why would it be a potato otherwise?
Because it was shaped like a potato. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was an actual friggin' potato. Do you know what I mean?
Saves some money. It saves the
because you can eat it afterwards.
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
what you think? Yeah.
Multi-purpose. You know, it saves the
some
company some money
butter
as well.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had one of those things. I had the rigid plastic potato head, but I can't say I ever had it.
I think I did. I kind of remember like pushing the things in and the crunch like that a potato makes, you know, when you stab it.
I had a potato gun. You ever have a potato gun? A spud gun? A spud gun?
Yes, I did actually, yeah.
Efren, you wouldn't need a spud gun in America because they just give you a proper handgun.
Guns.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we've got Play-Doh. Play-Doh didn't come out in 59. It had been out for a long, long time before that, but it was one of the most popular toys in 59. I'm sure you guys already know this, but do you know what Play-Doh was originally made for? Came out in the 30s.
In the 30s, it came out. Dang.
Yeah, came out in the 30s.
I played with it, but no.
Bomb related, I assume.
Was it what?
Was it like explosive related or something?
No.
No.
It was actually a cleaning product. It was wallpaper cleaner. So you used to ball it up and rub it on your wallpaper. I'm a bit obsessed with wallpaper, with Play-Doh in terms of the smell of it.
I love. Nothing hits like a fresh open tin of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Man. Like that shit. That shit's good.
Yeah. It's,
I love when you just pull it and it like kind of like clumpily breaks apart. I love it. It's good.
Yeah.
I've not Play-Doh in ages.
No, neither have I. We should get some this weekend when we go away. We'll just sit, instead of going drinking, we'll just sit in the room huffing on bloody Play-Doh.
Play-Doh party. Yeah, sounds good.
Play-Doh party.
Play-Doh party.
So that's Play-Doh. I mean, I used to love Play-Doh back in the day. And good old hula. I can't hula hoop. Can you guys hula hoop?
I used to back in the day. I used to love hula hooping back in the day. You know, just playing around with it and making it spin and come back to you. You know, and it was fun.
I don't have the waist line force. I think when you hit a certain degree of roundness, I don't think it really works on you anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, mine just kind of sticks. It's like more of a belt than a. Yeah, no, I've never been able to get the hip coordination for that crap.
Yeah.
Couldn't be chewed with that. Just going to jump to the chat, guys. Von Hoot, yeah, it's literally a potato, Peter. Sort of genius when you think about it. Every kitchen on the planet has a bit of potato. Yeah, I don't know why. I just foolishly thought it was. I don't know. We've got Sarah. Nice to see you, Sarah. Mr. Potato Head was originally just pants. Oh, sorry, parts. But in the mid-60s, they did come up with a plastic potato as part of the kit. Yeah, interesting stuff, isn't it? Terry, the toys I had back then, fun for hours, absolutely. Give your kid a potato, they're going to be away all day. Good days. Peter's parents had a Mr. Potato Head, and one day it came to... Oh, harsh, Gray, harsh. Okay, Fuzzy eats Play-Doh.
I didn't want to say it, but
you eat Play-Doh as well.
I have tasted Play-Doh, and
it's explaining a lot. It's
non-toxic, man.
Well, that doesn't mean you should eat it. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's non-toxic.
It means you can, you know. So.
Well, what's it actually even made of?
Play-Doh, duh. Fucking idiot.
Is Play-Doh a naturally occurring substance, is
yeah,
it? Did they go and dig for it in the fields in Ireland?
We dig for
Play-Doh.
For Mr. Potato Man and Play-Doh. That's what naturally grows here in Ireland.
God.
So.
Efren, have you ever eaten Play-Doh?
Not that I remember. I do remember the smell, though. It was quite unique smell, but I don't think I ever.
Of course you did. Everybody smelled it and went, "That smells nice," and then took a bite.
Now, did you ever eat it, like swallow it, or just chew it and spit it out?
Both, probably.
Wow. I never followed one.
Just like chewing tobacco, like like
Spittoon, a Play-Doh spittoon.
yeah.
Play-Doh, love how it says non-toxic on the front as opposed to the toxic version.
Yeah, toxic version's cheaper.
When was Silly Putty first brought on? Silly Putty. What's the difference between Play-Doh and Silly Putty?
Silly Putty, you can like put it like on a comic book, and it would, when you peel it off, you can see the image on the Silly Putty, and it can bounce really high.
Ah, right.
Play with it, yeah. Silly Putty, you smash it, then you could put on a newspaper, which you do all the time, or comic strip, and then you peel it off, and the comic strip would show up on the.
They don't make shit like that anymore.
They have Silly Putty out there.
They don't make these type of. They may still make that, but they don't make like that kind of.
Say James would trade in his PlayStation 5 for some Silly Putty.
Yeah,
on some Silly Putty.
Fuzzy saying it's impossible to play with Play-Doh and not make a willy. That's
Correct.
It is true. It is true. Yeah, it is true. The toxic version was only sold in Russia. Oh dear. They stopped selling that early recipe for Play-Doh when they found out that it killed brain cells faster than pus. That's obviously what happened to James. I want a hula hoop or a gastric band. Either will do. Yeah. And Von Hood, I've had my suspicions about Jimbo and Fuzzy for a while. The Xerox machine, my favorite of many Christmas party, was introduced to the world in people's arses September 59. Wow. Yeah. James always swallows.
I try, Fuzz, but sometimes you get that, kind of taste, and then
gag reflex.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just the volume as well. It's just too much. Comic books. 59 guys. Not a lot of action happening in Marvel land at 59. Any that jump to mind? Any comic books in general that you can think of that were important keys?
It was a Silver Age. It was like 2 years before Silver Age started, like in 1957. The only obviously I didn't, not that I know. I mean, just most of it was like, that's when DC was kind of still leading the pack, so to speak. Marvel had not produced yet Spider-Man or any of those characters. So, do you know when Justice League came out? Was it in the 50s or was it in the 60s? I think it was in the 60s.
60s, I think. 60s.
Yeah.
59 didn't have a lot of excitement for Marvel fans, but there was some good key books. We'll start off with this one. We got, of course, Showcase Presents 22, which was the first ever appearance of Hal Jordan.
Oh, wow.
Green Lantern.
That's in 59?
Yeah. Not a one I've got. Have you got this one, Efren?
No. You have this one?
No, I've not got this one.
No, I mean, I don't have it. I didn't even know that. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Was what year did the Comics Code Authority come into?
Oh,
that was late 50s. Was that 59?
It wasn't. It was in before 59.
Yeah,
because it was in response to all the horror comics and things like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because I have some like the late 50s like horror comics where they're so toned down, where it's like Invisible Man and monsters and stuff. Because it's like,
well, Green Lantern, interesting character. I'm a bit of a fan of Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, and I'm a big fan of Jeff Jones's run on Green Lantern more recently. Are you guys into Green Lantern at all?
I've been reading it, and for the last 3 or 4 years, it got a little bit confusing. What was going on with Green Lantern? There's so many of them now, but I've been reading it, but off and on.
James, how about yourself?
Blackest Night's the only Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's a tremendous series, tremendous little series. That, yeah, we've got a new Green Lantern show coming out soon. Looks quite interesting, kind of a buddy cop kind of thing. Quite keen on that, so that should be good fun. Von Hood is just saying Comics Code came out 54. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Grey Man. Eagle Comics was around in the 50s. It was. Not sure about Captain Comic Bud. Not sure. Dead Man's saying Red Kryptonite created in 59. There's also another Superman related thing that happened in 59, Dead Man, which we're going to get to in a minute. And Jack is saying this is one of his grails. I would love, I'm not a big DC collector, but I would love first appearance of Flash. But these early DC books are going for crazy money. Fuzzy, JL, another character I've never attempted to read, don't know where to start. There's a couple of really nice absolute editions, Fuzzy, Blackest Night and things like that, as James just mentioned, which are very, very good stories, worth reading. Interesting character, Hal Jordan. Interesting character. Marvel, as I said, not a great deal of excitement there, but we did get first issues of these two series, Tales to Astonish and Tales of Suspense. Both debuted in 59. Tales of Suspense with artwork by Jack Kirby. And these set the scene for some big key appearances later on down the line in Marvel. So we got, obviously, Ant-Man in Tales to Astonish. And I think was Tales of Suspense, did Iron Man first appearance in Tales of Suspense?
I believe so. Yeah.
So yeah, some good stuff there, some good starting points. But Marvel Comics didn't have any of the big key characters that we know and love now, really. Grey Man saying he loves Green Lantern. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan. I haven't read his recent stuff, but I do like Jeff Jones stuff. Jeff Jones run as a gold standard, Predator Darkest Night. Yeah. Sinestro War is very cool as well from memory. Some very, very cool stuff. Next, we've got this. Action Comics 252 came out in 59, introducing us to Supergirl, first appearance of the Girl of Steel. Again, not a book that I've got, but I am a bit of a fan of Supergirl. We've had a few different iterations of it over the years in TV, in movies. I'm going to start with you, James. Which is your favourite? You're muted, mate. Can't hear you. I'm going to start with you, Efren. Which is your favourite?
That was exciting, James. Thanks for sharing that with us. I would say the last TV series, I'm drawing a blank on the actress's name, but the one on the second from the right.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at the beginning. When it first started, it seemed a little bit too campy and too much like preteen. But as the series progressed, it got better and better. I think that's the one I'm familiar with, and I really liked. I didn't like it when the series ended. I wish the series would keep on going, But and I liked her when she had her first crossover with the Flash TV show. Yeah, that was excellent. This is pretty cool, So I think that would be my first choice as my main Supergirl.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's phenomenal. I do think that the young lady who was in the Flash movie was superb. And has been screwed over a bit, to be honest, by the whole James Gunn kind of debacle. But that original Supergirl movie, that original costume, the movie itself is pretty darn bad. It's just not got good villains and things, but the character was superb. I remember watching that and being very.
The actress played Supergirl's mom in the TV show too.
Yeah.
Helen Shaver.
Helen Slater. Is it Slater?
Yeah.
And then we had the version from Smallville, who was again very. I loved Smallville. It was one of my favorite series. Is that
somebody save me?
I think I read somewhere they're trying to come back with that show.
So they've been working on it for a while, but it's going to be an animated series voiced by the original cast.
Yeah.
Sadly, I mean, it's worth Googling after the show, ladies and gents, but the young lady who played Chloe ended up in some kind of weird sex cult thing. I think
not ended. She was like second in command.
Yeah.
She was recruiting people like for
very odd.
That's
very odd.
Alison Mack, I think.
Yeah.
That was weird.
James, what's your favorite Supergirl?
I've never really been super attached to Supergirl. I like the animated version from like the Dini verse, like that's probably the one I lean to the most. Live action wise, I really liked Sasha Calais, is it, from The Flash? I thought she was great. I really enjoyed her. I've not really seen enough of Melissa Benoist to really judge.
Oh, that's her name, Melissa. Yeah. I like that show. That was a good.
She was excellent in it. To be fair, she was really, really good in it. It was a good little series, that. But yeah, big book, and it's a big money book, that one, if you can get a hold of it. Deadman is just saying this is the second highest price he paid for a comic book. Wow. The big key. Yeah, big key.
I am very excited to see Millie Alcock though do it. I think she'll be
she'll be great in it. Starting to regret not watching Smallville after season 1. Smallville had some great episodes, to be fair. Green Lantern maybe. Yeah. He was also in The Flash, wasn't he, Jensen Ackles?
No, he wouldn't degrade himself that much, Pete.
Who am I thinking of then? Who was the guy who was in Prison Break?
Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, he played Captain Cold, didn't he? Yeah.
Loads of Spartacus actors are in it as well.
Yeah.
I love Spartacus.
Green Lantern may be classic, but he's not as cool as famous mustache shagger Errol Flynn, who sadly passed in 1959.
Is it sad? Look into him.
Is
He had some shady shit going on.
All right.
So, you know.
Is there such a thing as a weird sex cult? I'm kind of intrigued. Yeah, I mean, the few I've been to have been all right.
Is there a normal sex cult? Is that a thing?
yeah.
There you go.
We got this as well in 59. So this is a French comic book, and it debuted in issue 1, the first ever appearance of Asterix and Obelix. You guys familiar with Asterix the Gaul and Obelix?
No.
I've heard of them.
These were the we've talked about these in the Killer Comic Show recently. These were the stuff of many a classroom kind of comic book first exploring of the medium. So all UK schools seem to have a pile of Asterix books. They were normally in French, but you could get UK versions of them as well. Great little series, some excellent characters. They did a movie version with Gerald Depardieu as Obelix a little while ago. But yeah, really, really interesting superhero kind of character. I cannot remember much about them, but great.
Is he supposed to be like Thor?
It's not Thor as such. From memory, I think they are based on kind of Viking kind of mythologies and things like that.
Nice.
But yeah, fighting the Romans and stuff. But and I can't remember how they accessed the powers, but they were basically him and Obelix was like super strong. I think they had to drink an elixir or something like that. Can't remember. But yeah, used to read them in school all the time. Dead Man thought Asterix was the 40s. No, came out in this year, mate. This might. I was more of a Tintin fan. I never got away with Tintin. I don't know why. No. And Luke saying Asterix and Obelix were my favourites as a kid, fighting the Romans. Yeah, they were cool. They were very cool. Okay, movies. Now, James has asked for one film in particular, so we'll get to that in a bit because I know about it. But a couple of big films came out in 59. You guys remember or know of any that you want to mention?
Big one, the biggest one, the biggest movie ever made at the time and for a while afterwards, Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur, yeah. Good old Ben-Hur with good old Charlton Heston. Now, this is one of those films that I'm sure I have seen, but I remember very, very little of, other than the chariot kind of scene. Obviously, it's a religious epic. At the time, it had the largest budget ever for a movie at 15 million, and some of the largest sets ever made at the point. It's well known because of the chariot race and some of its incredible kind of special effects of the time, and it won 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Efren, do you remember this one?
Never saw it.
Never seen it.
I remember the chariot scene. Was Kirk Douglas in this movie? Or no, I don't think so. I was just thinking of him in the movie that I thought he was in. But no, I've never seen it. But I remember seeing clips of the chariot scene. But I've never seen it. You know?
Yeah, I think this was a one in the UK that was on. We have a stable in the UK of like 5 movies that used to be on every Christmas before we got kind of more than 5 channels, and Ben-Hur was one of them. You know. In Indiana Jones as well. So yeah, I remember seeing it, but I couldn't tell you much about it if I'm honest. James, do you remember much about it?
I mean, Christmas Day viewing, isn't it? Like it's
yeah.
I've seen it in chunks on Christmas Day over the years. I've never actually. It is very long, isn't it? It's like 3 hours 20 or something, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's, you know, it was Gladiator of its time. Do you know what I mean? Like it's this big, massive, epic thing, like battles, and yeah, the chariot sequence obviously is very famous, and it's just really impressive for, you know, 50s.
Yeah, Von Hoot's just saying on the one hand, as an adult, I respect Ben-Hur, but also it can go in the bin for taking up a whole afternoon of TV when there were only 4 channels.
Very fair.
That's very, very fair. Sarah is just saying Charlton Heston was the star of Ben-Hur. Yep, absolutely. And Kirk Douglas was Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. Like that as well.
I am Spartacus.
Yeah. Dead Man. Wow, that's a big number, Dead Man. That's how much that budget would have been today, which is an awful lot of money. Luke, all I remember in Ben-Hur, except the chariot race, as a leprechaun. I remember that bit as well. But yeah, classic film. It's not one I'm in a rush to go back and see, mind, I have to say. Religious epic kind of turns me off, if I'm honest.
Do you remember the extra credit scene at the end of Ben-Hur?
No, what happened there?
Some ape showed up at the very end. You didn't see it?
Yeah, next to the statue, next to a big statue.
Damn you all to hell.
And then we'll get this now. This is
I remember
Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne.
Wow.
In comparison, this had a budget of 3.4 million, and it took around about 10 million at the box office. I do remember seeing this one. Remember seeing this one, and the reason it stands to memory is because now it looks so ridiculous in terms of them kind of just using animals, lizards, geckos and snakes and stuff, and kind of using the screen and technology of the time to make it look like them. But a great little film, and I have to say I particularly enjoyed the remake in 2008 with Brendan Fraser. No, Brendan Fraser.
The Rock is the second. The second one's The Rock. Journey 2.
Journey 2. Yeah,
I've only seen the second one, and I like the second one.
Both good.
I've not seen the first one.
Both good. Yeah. Can either of you remember seeing this original one?
I remember seeing it now. Oh, it's such a long time ago. I didn't even know Pat Boone started it. I remember James Mason was in it. That actor sticks out more for me. I remember seeing it, but just these types of movies just brings back fond memories. Just back in the day. Like you said, just lizards, and they just make them seem big. Just campy, but just innocent fun.
It's funny, the nostalgia thing, isn't it? Because I see the scenes on this, and I'm immediately taken back to a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon sat at my nana and granddad's house, with a Coke float, watching the afternoon matinee kind of thing. So yeah, it's the memories it evokes, which is really, really nice.
I mean, since James is slightly younger than me and us, James, have you seen what do you think when you see these? I don't know if you've seen it or not. I don't think you say you have seen it, but do you think, this is just not for me? It just seems too campy compared to how movies are made now.
I don't really understand what the question part of that is.
What do you view these films as? Like just campy films, or things that I wouldn't want to watch, compared to movies how they're made now.
I find you have to look at things through the lens of what it was at the time. Like there's very few movies that I feel are as effective now as they were back then. Like Halloween is one of the only examples I think of a movie where I remember the first time I watched Halloween, sitting down thinking it's a 70s movie. I'm not going to be scared and being like shit yourself, terrified.
Jaws. When did Jaws come out? That's just as terrifying
70, now. That's 76, I want to say. But like, it's rare, and I think you just have to appreciate like the work that went in at the time, even if things don't age very well.
I think there are some movies from this era that a good story is a good story. I think the time I struggle more with it is when there've been special effects attempts at the time. So like this, I think if I watched this now, I would struggle with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is a shame. Because we'll be saying the same thing in 15 years looking back. I mean, cranky, even now looking back, I'd say Star Wars. You think, it's a bit ropey. It's a bit ropey the original at times. Fuzzy, you're saying Singing in the Rain is timeless. It's a Wonderful Life gets played every year. Timeless is timeless. Yeah, I think the story, if the story engages and keeps you, and I think, like I say, if it's not too heavily reliant on special effects. Shalom, nice to see you, Ian. Nice to see you. Those mushrooms would make a great soup. Dead man, Terry, hold that thought, because we might be talking food in a little bit. Okay, next movie, guys. House
Here
on
it is.
Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. Now, I remember seeing this. This is a story in which he invites he's a billionaire, and he invites 5 people to stay the night, and anybody that can stay the full night wins £10,000. I'd completely forgotten, because I've seen the remakes, which I'm sure, James, you have as well.
Jeffrey Rush, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten that this isn't really a horror in terms of ghosts and goblins and monsters and stuff. It's really a cat and mouse game between him and his wife, who are both trying to bump each other off.
Yeah. It's caper.
Yeah.
But it's just got a spooky setting. Like.
Yeah. Have you seen this one, Efren?
I've never seen it, never heard of it, but that's the film poster on the left, right?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Ah, it's
Oh my-
incredible. Like this is Vincent Price's like role. This is the one. You know, this is the one everyone knows him for.
Wow.
When people think Vincent Price, it's this movie really about put him on the map.
That's excellent poster. Love that.
Yeah. There's I'd seen bits of this. I just knew it from Vincent Price as like growing up, and I watched it a couple years ago. Elvira did like a Shudder 40th anniversary special thing, and she does this movie. So it was that was really fun. But like it's it's of its time, but it's I think really interesting, and I think it's a a fun
Little
watch anyway.
interesting footnote for this as well. It's one of the first films that had a bit of a kind of a gimmick thing called Emergo. Have you heard of that?
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
They're throwing skeletons down the aisles
Yeah.
of the cinema and shit. Like, yeah.
So there's a scene in the film where a skeleton kind of shoots past the people, and they had skeletons on pulley systems in the theaters. So when that scene happened, the skeletons shot across the theater,
Oh, nice.
making people jump
so
out their
cool.
skins. Obviously,
I wish movies still had those kind of gimmicks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish like there was 13 Ghosts, the original 13 Ghosts. You
Yeah.
had like glasses that you could put on that you can't see the ghosts unless you're wearing them, which is just like mind
Very
boggling
cool.
how
Yeah.
that is possible even at that point.
very
like,
cool. Yeah. Fuzzy, is that skeleton really big or is she really small? I think she's really small. I think she's shrunk. Vincent Price is awesome. He absolutely is. And there's an Elvira meets Vincent
Yeah,
Price.
I'm reading it at the moment, Fuzzy. It's very good.
Sorry, carry on,
Sorry,
Jim.
go on. No, go on.
The black and white still, is that Gene Wilder? No, it's not. Sorry, you were saying, James?
No, I say like the when she first meets him in the comic, it's as this character, and then it moves on to like his kind of modern, like how he was later in life, like his look, his look evolved.
He's incredible actor. Scary skeletal old hag, but I've seen worse. Vicky, my supervisor. Wow. I hope she's not watching, Leon. Yeah, great little movie.
Seminal horror film. Like,
Yeah.
like inspired quite a lot.
The remake in '99 is very good as well. But that leans much more into the horror and the monsters and stuff like that. Now, James, you've asked to talk about this one. This is what's regarded as one of the. I bet Von Hoot loves it. I bet
Probably
Von Hoot bloody loves it. Do you know what I mean? It's regarded as the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
That is Plan 9 from Outer Space. Now, there was a bit of controversy when you mentioned this to us, because when I did a bit of digging, it was actually released in 57. But then some releases have it down as 59. So I think it must have had like a limited release initially.
I'll take
or
it.
something. Yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
it. I'll count it as 59 because
So this is Ed Wood at his finest with Bela Lugosi. Well, he was dead when they actually put him in the film. Aliens.
he died during filming, I believe.
No, he died before film, and he died in
they just-
56, and they reused his footage apparently.
From other Redwood
Yeah,
films.
yeah.
Okay, fair. Okay.
So this is a story where aliens want to stop humans making weapons, so they implement Plan 9 and resurrect the dead. Now, I've never seen this, James, so tell us a little bit about it.
Efren, are you familiar at all with this film or with Ed Wood or anything? No.
I'm familiar with the title of it. I've heard of it, but that's about it.
So Ed Wood there's a very good Tim Burton movie called Ed Wood where Johnny Depp plays him. It's about this, and a lot of this is about the making of this movie. So he was just this like the word like awful director, like terrible, just made the worst schlock movies. So this movie is like his magnum opus. It's about aliens, and the aliens are also zombies, but they're also vampires. And like Bela Lugosi is in it as Dracula, and Vampira is in it. But like the story doesn't really ever explain why they're there or what they're doing or anything like that. And then there's just bits with like the zombie aliens. It's just a wild ride. Like it's just the most bizarre thing. Like none of it makes any sense, but I love it. Like it's so much.
It's not a one I'm going to rush to see.
It's on YouTube. Just watch it.
I mean, Von Hoot's saying he's never seen it, but he expects you would think it would be a masterpiece.
Yeah, you're like it.
Yeah. Fuzzy saying Francis Ford Coppola's latest film, there's a scene where someone comes out in the theater to deliver a scene. It still happens. Very cool. I love stuff like that.
Megatropolis
Or something.
No, that's not Coppola, is it? Is that Coppola?
I don't know.
Was that someone else? That was someone else, wasn't it?
Terry saying I bought Plan 59 comic book series. I think it was a piss take of this film. Yeah, there is definitely a comic out there. Yeah,
but
not one I'm going to
I also I just love this era of like 50s B movie, sci-fi B movie. This is the epitome of that. With like a bit of stupid like, why is Bela Lugosi as Dracula in this? Like, he's literally dressed as Dracula, chasing like a woman through the woods. It just doesn't tie in with the rest of the film at all. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the stills I saw of it look rough, I have to say. Sarah saying Plan 9 was originally titled Grave Robbers from Outer Space. Chris Well refers to that title in the intro. Interesting. Ed Wood is about the making of this film. I've never seen that either. I've never seen that.
It's mostly about how he met, like, a lot of it's about how he met Bela Lugosi. The guy who played Bela Lugosi in it won an Oscar for it as well. It's a great movie. Check it out.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Right, now we always do. I'm saying always. We've done it once. We normally do a section on computer games. James, 1959. There wasn't much to go on, mate.
No,
there wasn't.
at all, was there?
So I had the IBM 1401 data processing system. Don't think you got Mario on that, mate.
I think if you showed someone in 1959 a video game, they'd shit themselves.
They think you'd stolen the soul or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just incomprehensible.
So that's it. There's any slides on computer games, guys. So I thought we'd talk instead about one of our favourite topics.
Yes.
A bit of food. Just a little bit of food. And I might actually add this in to see what the popular foods were of the time, because some of this stuff is just mank. Ephraim, do you remember much about the food in the early 60s?
Gosh, no. Honestly, my mom my mom's Hispanic, so I would just eat a lot of rice and beans and, carne asada, and but nothing like this.
What's
carne asada?
Carne asada.
What's that?
It's so good.
You know what carne asada is?
No, mate.
It's like a shredded pork. Like
It's carne asada is just like meat, like barbecued meat, like on a grill. Carne asada.
Nice.
When you guys come down here, I'm gonna take you to all kinds of carne asadas.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna come to my house. We have a barbecue carne asada.
I'll float through the air like a pig in a cartoon in Looney Tunes.
It looks like this plate is a lot of cold cuts in it.
Yeah. So what I've done, guys, is I've had a quick look. I've scoured the internet and got some recipes from 1959. Before we get into that, just quickly say, Greyman is saying Martin Landau played Lugosi. Oh, Lugosi, yeah, in Ed Wood.
Won Oscar for Lugosi.
Another fuzzy fact: need a doctor? How about Dr. House himself, Hugh Laurel, born in 11th of June 59. Very cool. I loved House. Did you guys watch House, the series?
Never
I've
seen it.
clips of it on YouTube.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I, Connie, absolutely love House. One of the superb series. Fuzzy, guaranteed tripe was popular. Oh, Ephraim.
We call it menudo, or tripa, and it's a soup. Have you had that before?
No.
It's good. I
could have a seafood chowder. I couldn't eat it.
Supposedly, it's a cure for like when you have a hangover.
A brothy like fish soup. I'm like, no.
No, I'm not fancying that.
I'm a fan of a chowder.
See, I can't eat anything too fishy.
Oh.
Me and James went to is it a Thai restaurant at the end of our Manchester trip?
Yeah.
That little, yeah. And they were meant to be prawn crackers. Now, I'm used to prawn crackers from a Chinese tasting of just air. And these bloody yellowy crackers,
like prawns. Like,
I nearly bowed. They were vile. Absolutely vile.
I like that restaurant a lot. That was really nice.
That was dirty. Okay. So, a couple of recipes for you.
Spam.
Spam.
I'm feeling TV dinners would be in here, but like spam.
No, spam's dandy. Some delicious recipes. We've got spam and pasta there, which is lovely. And then spam bean bake. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Have you had spam before, chaps?
I've had spam. I used to eat it all the time. I used to really like a fried spam. It was really good.
Spam sandwich.
I used to struggle to like comprehend its existence, like a tinned meat, for ages. And then last year I just said, "Fuck, I'll try it," and I thought it was decent. Like I think depending on I think spam and eggs is like a good combo. I diced it up and put it in a carbonara
Mm.
instead of bacon once, and that was okay. It's a you have to get over the tech. Like I also think you need to like cube it. Like you need as much of that being like outside crisp as possible, because if you have too thick a chunk, it's just going to be gross. Like
Gunge.
Yeah.
We used to get a lot of chopped pork here. Have you ever had a tin of chopped pork?
I've never eaten any other tinned meat. I wouldn't trust. Well, except
Yeah.
for beans that have sausages in them. Heinz
Chopped
bean
pork,
sausages.
basically, it's a bit like a spam tin, and you pour it out, and it kind of it makes like
disgusting.
and it slides out because it's encased in like a meat jelly, and it's just manky, just absolutely manky. So yeah,
Also,
I'm
like
not
spam like on sushi is like a big thing. I like that.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Now this one I quite liked. This is a Del Monte, rather elegant looking meal, I think, where you have basically some onion and some tuna chopped and molded into a ball. You then encase that in boiled rice, and then pour pea juice over it, and then peas. It's nice.
I wouldn't eat that. I'd actually pee on that before I ate that.
That was like harsh and cute at the same time. I've written those. I'd pee on it. That's weird. Is it like tuna mixed with what?
Tuna and onions kind of mixed into like a dome, molded into a dome,
With covered in rice and then peas.
covered in.
outside.
Well, no, sorry. I'm doing you a lie, James. You mix the tuna, the onions, and the pea juice together to create a nice succulent ball
Is this
of
like
tuna.
tinned tuna, like a tin of tuna?
Yeah.
That's gross.
You then coat the tinned tuna in boiled rice. You then pour the peas and any remaining pea juice over the top of it.
I think anything mixed with tuna other than mayo is gross.
I don't think anybody ever makes this anymore. I just
Yeah.
I
The next one, Crown O Gold meatloaf. Now, I don't think I've ever had meatloaf. I'm presuming it's just like a big burger reference, is it? What is meatloaf?
Oh, it's so good.
So what is meatloaf?
Just a loaf of meat.
It's a loaf of meat, yeah, but
That's all you can say.
Guys, that's clear that one up.
It's sort of like a not like a burger, like a meatball, like a big meatball. You put pork and beef, some onions,
easy to
ketchup,
chew.
like barbecue sauce.
It's good.
Like, it's so good, man. It's so good. I love it.
It's easy to chew, so you don't have to cut it or anything.
Yeah.
Like old people food.
As a lazy fuck, I love a bit of meatloaf because I just like reach my jaw and it just
You
slides.
can just
like
swallow
that,
it
you know
all.
what I mean? Yeah.
Well, here you go then. So there's your Crown O Gold meatloaf. Now I saw that image and I thought, ooh, that looks nice. That's just like a shepherd's pie, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like shepherd's pie though.
Well, you'll like this one because it's not shepherd's pie. What do you think that yellow stuff is?
Some kind of mustard mousse.
No. Well, it's got mustard in it. Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's like bread or something.
Eggs?
Bread.
It's
No.
not eggs, is it?
It's egg. Yeah.
Oh, it
It's
is?
just a couple of inches of nice fluffy egg, and then kind of just slopped on the top.
I mean, not dissimilar to like a quiche, I guess. Then it's not like terribly.
A meat quiche. Yeah.
Well, quiche has. Do you ever have like a quiche Lorraine with
Bacon in it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Just going to jump to the chat before we move on. Fuzzy, I didn't read this comment before I read yours. That's a mistake. Connie, I can't imagine eating fish if I'm hungover. Fuzzy's not going there. He's not going there. Efren, tripe is the stomach lining of a cow.
Yeah. It's
It's
good.
like white. It's white, isn't it?
It's white, but we call it menudo. You add some red sauce to it, and you put lemon. You put lemon or lime on it. And it is good. When you come here, Peter, hopefully you guys will come visit.
I'll have my carne asada. Thank you very much.
We will, but I'm gonna be making it. The carne asada. I have a grilling it when you guys come over. You guys spend some time at my house, but I'm gonna make you eat menudo first.
I mean, just for that, you're getting jellied eels when we go to London. Connie loves spam and rice with shit tons of soy sauce. And Edam is my favorite.
Say that again.
Edam, is it Edam? No.
I
don't
got
know.
slagged once for
What is
mispronouncing
it?
it. It's
Edamame.
Edamame. What's edamame?
I said edamame, I think I called it.
My
What's
daughter eats-
edamame?
My daughter
It's
eats
like
them.
the little beans that you
Yeah.
pinch out of
Pretty good.
the thing. The case.
Luke knows where it's at. Spam's just dog food. I agree. Thanks to Monty Python, I think Spam is more of a tool for comedy. Yeah. Fuzzy, cigar, anyone? One of my favourite lunatics, Fidel Castro rose to prominence as the premier of Cuba, February 16th, 1959. Wow. I do find tinned meat outside of Spam and corned beef to be mental, though. Someone in America used them thin diced chicken in a recipe last week and it was stuck. So interestingly, my uncle once got a tinned ox tongue. Have you seen that? It was literally a full tongue in a tin. It was the most revolting thing I've ever seen.
I also like. I think you can get like chicken curry in a tin there. I think.
Well, no, you can get it. So I've seen many a video on YouTube of you can buy a chicken in a tin.
Oh, roasting
in America.
Like,
yeah. No. A literal full chicken, raw chicken in some kind of gunge in a tin.
Well,
Really?
I know that they do
never
like a
seen that.
ham. Like,
Yeah.
from I know this from was it the Cranks? Christmas with the Cranks, where they have their honey baked glazed hams in like a tin, and I think you boil the tin and then you open it and then bake it.
One of the worst things I've ever eaten was I was at an air show years ago, and they were doing burgers, and they were tinned burgers, and they were just like a sloppy, gungy mess. It was, anyway, moving on. Koreans go mad for Spam. They love the shit. The middle one looks like the fast show's cheesy peas. I miss the fast show. Now that's a struggle meal if ever I've heard one. Yeah, don't ever say pea juice. Pea juice, and this is the rankest menu recipe on the planet. Connie's saying we sometimes have meatloaf with Christmas dinner instead of stuffing. Yeah, I can see that working.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I can see that working. I love stuffing.
Sometime.
Sausage meat stuffing.
Yeah.
Bloody Americans, can't trust them, can't trust the food. Yeah. And Sarah, meatloaf is intended to stretch hamburger. It's mainly made with ground beef and egg with breadcrumbs to extend the use of the meat.
Yeah, like a big meatball.
Yeah. Terry, I worked in a slaughterhouse for a few months after seeing them bleach the tripe from green to white. And you're eating that.
It's green.
Talking about ox tongue is tasty. Yeah, Fuzzy. This channel has changed me for the better, Fuzzy. For the better. Easy squeezy, cheesy peasy. Yeah. Okay, right. Finally, guys, I found this. This is a 1959 takeaway menu for Sonic drive-through. Never heard of Sonic drive-through. And that's a McDonald's recipe from around the same time as well. Tater tots. You guys love a tater tot, don't they? Shredded and molded tater tots. I like
Basically
them.
a hash brown.
Yeah.
I like potato tots.
Foot-long coney, regular coney. I presume they're all different kinds of hot dogs. Root beer. I got into root beer recently. I quite like that.
Nah, I never had it.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Did you do the video with us when we did the root beer
I
taste?
couldn't find it. I went to the shops
couldn't
that sold
find
it.
it.
They didn't have any.
Yeah.
I looked all over the city and I could not find it.
Recently there's a Sonic hamburger place that opened up by my house about 3-4 years ago. I'm not sure.
Right.
If it's fun. Yeah, it just
It's
opened
still
up.
a thing now, yeah. Sonic Burger.
Sonic
Grape slush. Look at the prices, but foot-long hot dog, 30 cents.
Jeez.
A Whopper, 40 cents. Oh, the Whopper must be fish or something.
Homemade fried pies. Is that like a McDonald's pie?
Were you reading that?
At the desserts
Dessert section.
A dish of vanilla. What is that?
It's ice cream, I presume, is it not?
Doesn't say.
Yeah.
Fried pie a la mode.
Probably
Just-
vanilla. I'm thinking it's vanilla ice cream.
That must
Yeah.
be it.
Just speaking of McDonald's, there's a great movie called The Founder, starring I haven't mentioned him yet tonight. So it's starring Michael Keaton, which is a real interesting story about the McDonald's travesty, because McDonald's started off as a little family-run restaurant, one kind of store that was selling fast food burgers, and basically the guy who set up McDonald's came and took it over and just dicked them over completely.
And then started extorting people who bought franchises because he would buy the land and then lease the land to them, and then if they started acting up.
And then once they started getting decent money, you opened a McDonald's chain restaurant opposite the original McDonald's just to stick the knife in even further. Horrendous. Great story, worth watching. We've got 22 people watching, so thank you very much, everybody. Really do appreciate that. Please do
Food
make
talk
sure
brings it in, man. I'm telling you, people love it.
Please make sure you check out Past Point Comics and also One Good Scare Show. I do appreciate
The year
it.
1959. Only good things come out of.
Only good things. Yeah. Connie is just saying, I love root beer, but I can't drink too many American soft drinks because of the corn syrup. Yeah.
Well, they're getting rid of that now. RFK Jr. is going to get rid of the FDA.
Yeah.
Trump so what's
he wants
soft
corn syrup?
So wait a minute, soft drinks over there have no corn syrup, or
we don't?
I love how baffled he is. We have corn syrup and nothing. There's no corn syrup here at all.
So wait a minute, do you have soft drinks made over there? Correct?
Yes.
But no
water, just water, Efren. Just
corn
water.
syrup. It's just.
Efren, just prepare yourself when you come to England on Friday. Just taste buds are useless. You've got no flavor.
You bring a Coke. You bring a Coke from home, and we'll give you a Coke, and you can taste the two, and you can see the difference.
Well, if they let, I know when I go to the airport, they won't let you bring, any liquids in there. But once I'm inside,
you have a suitcase, don't you?
Yes. Once I'm in, no, I don't have a suitcase. I'm gonna carry on. Everything's gonna be carry on for me.
Okay.
But once I'm inside the airport, like waiting for the flight, I think they have stores in there. I can buy a soft drink and bring
a Coke.
Yeah.
Bring Coke.
Bring a root beer one too.
Buy
a root beer one too.
We can try the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuzzy. Rock and Roll's most remember this one.
Oh, wow.
Infant Plane Crash happened in 59 where Buddy Holly, Big Bopper, and Richie Valens all sadly died. Yeah. Wow. And the crowd are conferring our drinks are made with sugar, not corn syrup.
In Mexico, they're made with sugar too.
In Mexico.
Last bit of food news. This kind of became a household staple, the Arctic roll. It had been out before 59, but it was bought in 59 by Walls, I believe, and they started to mass produce it, and people started to get it in the freezer. I haven't had an Arctic roll in years. You guys fans of the Arctic roll?
I never heard of this until you mentioned this last episode.
Never heard of an Arctic roll.
Never heard of this.
Delicious. Arctic roll is basically a log of ice cream wrapped in sponge cake.
That's disgusting.
How dare you?
I think it pretty good. Wow. So it has to be kept frozen then, right?
Yeah. You keep it in the freezer. You just keep it in the freezer. Yeah. They're lovely. See, everybody's a fan of the Arctic roll.
Don't like sponge cake. Never been a fan. Frozen sponge cake sounds.
You've never lived. Swiss roll's not got ice cream in it, Connie. Swiss roll's not got ice cream in it. Yeah, I'm the same Von Hood. Not since I can't remember. I think that's a mission for this weekend, guys. Find an Arctic roll retailer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okie dokie. That was our canter through 1959. Have I missed anything, chaps? Is there anything you wanted to mention that we've not talked about?
I looked some stuff up in 1959. The first Grammy Awards were May 4th, 1959.
Wow.
It was held in Los Angeles, celebrating achievements in the music industry. Some of the big winners included Frank Sinatra and the Kingston Trio. Sleeping Beauty was released in January 29th, 1959.
Yeah.
Let me see what else here. The Volkswagen Beetle became the best-selling car in 1959. And this is the first subcompact car in the U.S., the Mini Cooper, debuted in 1959. It says here, 59 was a transformative year in many ways, setting the stage for major developments in the 1960s, particularly in civil rights, space exploration, and cultural shifts.
Very good. See, very important, Efren. Very important, And Fuzzy's just confirming, 14th of August, 59. Famous tall American Magic Johnson was born. Right, chaps.
I would like to
We'll-
add, before we
Sorry?
go on, the Marilyn Monroe classic "Some Like It Hot"
Yes,
was
yes.
from in 1959. It's a great movie.
It did. It did. Mr. Keegan, we'll do you next. What's your date of birth?
95, baby.
1995. Jesus Christ.
Some good shit. Some good shit
1995.
from 95, man. This will be a good one.
Okay. What we're going to do then, ladies and gents, is for the next time we do this show next week, we will do 1995, the year Keegan arrived on the planet. And then after that, what we'll do is we're going to start working our way through our loyal viewers. You guys are superb. We really, really do appreciate you watching every week. So what we'll do is we'll start, if you start messaging us your dates of birth, we'll start sorry, Fuzzy's an expert on 95. Good stuff, Fuzzy. But we'll start working through everybody else's dates of birth as well. Well spotted, Terry. Well spotted. Just a bit of a flip. Just a bit of a...
All right, sir.
Can we do my birth year in 1918 as a war baby? Lots of great films came out. Yeah, it might be a bit of a stretch. And Von Hoot was born 1783. Mowell's live a long time. Wakefield, yep, I know Wakefield. Anyway, listen, we've got 24 people watching. Thank you so much, everybody. 1995 will be the next show we'll do. Huge thank you to you all for watching. That's your whack. Just if I can mention, please do check out my channel. Got all kinds of stuff on there at the moment. Got my recent CGCs back, so check those out. And I've got a video coming out on Thursday about my in-art Superman figure, which I've just unboxed, and he is sexy. Efren, what we got coming up on your channel, mate?
Nothing really, because I'm gonna be taking a little bit of a break as I'm going on these trips, So when I come back, I may do up on comics, my weekly show that I do with my cousin. Peter, I checked out your CGC unboxing one. It was really good. That Action Comics. Who was it signed by again?
I can't see his name. Is it Jerry Segal?
Yeah,
Siegel.
I was like, wow, you got his autograph. I went, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It is a nice one.
I like that video a lot, man. Just to let you know. So.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Do appreciate that.
I thought it was okay.
Cheers, James. But you don't like Arctic Roll, so your opinion means nout.
James,
what's happening on One Good Scare Show?
We have our spoiler review for Smile 2. That is up on the channel at the moment. We also have One Good Scare live last Friday, where we talked about all the news, and we have our I'll Be Right Back on the original Smile this Friday, and we'll probably have a Heretic review. We're going to try and record that in the next couple of days if we get a chance, and that'll go up while we're away, but I'll be away for a couple of weeks, so it'll be slowish. I'll try and snip up around some stuff from previous shows and put them up. So
good stuff. And also, just to remind people, we have got the Killer Comic Show on Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Myself and Andy are hosting it this week because Charlie's away, but we're going to be doing the usual mix of reviews and all kinds of stuff, reviewing Absolute Superman issue #1. So please make sure you let one know in the chat whether you've enjoyed that book or not. Again, just quickly looking at the chat, you guys have been superb. I'm loving all the comments. You're right, Fuzzy, I need a piddle. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We all, me, Efren, and James, always appreciate your support. And that's your whack. We'll catch you all next time. Thanks very much, everybody, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Adios.